Welcome to the last section, number 7. This is the recommendations for practice success. There'll be only one question in the exam from this section, and it'll be an application question or a Bloom's Level 3 question. Here we're going to understand the few recommendations for practice success, and they are based on the ITIL guiding principles or connected with the ITIL guiding principles. As an introduction here, we need to acknowledge that problem management is a practice, not just a set of activities. Meaning we need people with different skills, not only technology, but other skills, automation needed, and cooperation between internal teams and third parties. All those are essential in this practice. Therefore, problem management is not an administrative process. Collaboration is important. Management has to be involved. Business has to be involved. It's a business-led practice. And it's a practice that brings change in the organization because it supports and improves quality, it improves efficiency, reduces the risk of service delivery, and improves the business value for the stakeholders. Though people might think it's a technology-based practice, but it is not. It's a business-led practice. So how to get started with this practice? Use the principle of start where you are and progress iteratively with feedback. If you remember those from the ITIL Foundation, these are 2 of the 7 ITIL guiding principles. And we can apply that here by identifying problems in the most critical products to start with, products and services that are most critical. Then further develop the capabilities and expand the scope to increase the business value from the practice. So remember, touch upon the most critical products first and then move on to other products and services. So by critical products, I mean critical products and services as well. Then consider who should be involved, who should drive the practice development, who should be, so it's not just the problem manager, but there should be other people involved as well to drive the practice development. Though the problem manager or possibly a practice leader or a practice manager will drive it, but all of these people need to understand the value and definition of problem management and need to have the right skills. So for example, the architectural knowledge, the risk management skills, influencing skills, all that, and also team coordination. Those are essential, and some analytical skills as well. So the skills needed for all the 3 phases of problem management. And also, what will they need from the upper leadership to support the practice? Because the upper management needs to be convinced that problem management is really needed, or they might just think that it is another set of tasks that can be done by people on a day-to-day basis. They can do that, but however, in the beginning, a lot of management and leadership attention is needed before it becomes sort of an administrative kind of activity. So making problem management work, how to do that? Let's take a look at that. So once the first problems have been identified, this could have been for the critical products and services, then look at the overall data on the backlog of problems, identify the links with incidents and changes, look at relevant activities happening in the organization, and seek feedback from users on what is really affecting them. So while the people who are practicing problem management will have their own backlog and pick the critical ones first and move on to a non-critical and add some more process steps and activities, but they need to seek feedback from users ongoing so that they get the user's perspective, the customer's perspective. Because the business value is the key driver for problem investigation and resolution. Otherwise, there'll be a plate full of problems, and the focus will be on the inappropriate problems and not the most important problems that users and customers want to get resolved. And therefore, management support is needed to approve the investment or resource allocation. So, for example, if a leader willing to break from the level 1, move to level 2 or 3, they have to influence their upper management and get the investment for it, resource allocation for it. Therefore, they will have to define the risks, opportunities, costs, and benefits of any initiatives that are related to problem management. Rather than just outlining a list of technical issues that we have incidents occurring and there are no solutions for it, that would be too simple as a justification or a business case. And this information should be presented in a powerful way, clearly, and simply in a simple manner to the decision makers. Further, no doubt, visibility and transparency of the problems are needed and the impact are needed. And because the more people are aware of the top problems in the organization, the more chances that there'll be support for that. And even those people can support in the investigation of problems and take part in the problem management activities. And you can do one thing to check whether problem management is working or not. Take a look at the prioritized list of problems. Ask people whether they know what that prioritized list of problem is, in some way, polite way or whatever. You can be creative with that and see if they agree to it, particularly the upper management, the leadership, because we are saying that problem management is a business-led practice. So let's see if the business or the upper management understands that. Because technical people most likely will, but what about the non-technical upper management personnel? Because without their support, problem management will not work, at least in the initial period, until it becomes a regular, well-known activity. Then we have demonstrating value to the organization. So far we have looked at getting started, making problem management work. Now we have demonstrating value to the organization. Now, most organizations will have some sort of a problem management workflow if they are already doing this practice, but how do they demonstrate the business value from the practice? And of course, value will depend on the people, collaboration, business focus, process technology, and many other things. But if the value is not demonstrated to the supporters and the leaders above, then further support and investment will possibly not occur, probably not occur. So demonstrating value requires some effort, and that is done based on defining metrics, drawing the performance results based on those metrics, and articulating that to the upper management. It should be articulated more in business terms and less in technical terms. So, for example, show the decrease in costs and losses from the reduction in incidents and service interruptions, how they are reducing in the losses and costs. Then identifying reduced risk levels associated with the prevention of incidents and resolution of problems. These are, I think, good wins. Then demonstrating improvements in customer or user satisfaction ratings due to reduced interruptions and improved service quality. Then highlighting the quality improvements in service delivery and performance achieved through problem resolution, showing the return on investments in upgrades, legacy removals, replacements, resource changes, and use of external services. So these are kind of trivial things. Any service delivery practitioner will know what is important in terms of service quality and use all that data in the right way, presented in the right way to get support from the upper management for further or initial investment for the practice. As you know, the upper management like to see more business focused metrics, performance rather than just technical. If we show them a list of incidents that were not closed on time, they will have questions, but that doesn't tell them the value of the problem management.